All right, folks, welcome back to the Live at a Dollar Podcast Network. As you can see, I have two guests with me in-house today. We're going to get to them in just a second. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships, two of the finest right here sitting with me. It's Bkfc 78 coming up in Hollywood July 12th. Both these guys are on the card. And besides the fact that, and you know, for people watching all over the world, you might not understand this, but both these guys are Broward County. So that's huge to me. If you know you listen to me a lot, this is hometown right here. These are both my boys right here as well. Howard Davis is to my left. Rambo Russo is to my right. These two guys right here, two of the best in the BKFC. First off, welcome to the building. Welcome to the podcast. And thank you for being here. I know we're getting close to the fight, so I know I got you right at like the deadline of when we could bother you guys. Howard, I'll start with you. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
No, man, are you kidding me? I love you guys. You guys are part of the family and part of the All-In family as well. I know you guys too. Rambo, I'm excited. I've done this with you before. We've never done it face-to-face. We did it on a Zoom call. Yeah. I'm glad you're in here for this, and I'm glad you're going to be back in the ring soon. That's exciting.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate the opportunity for, coming in, showing, explaining my, me and my thoughts and how I want to come forward to my next fight, and, even explain about my last fight, or, just happy to even just be here to even explain what's going down right now, so I appreciate you for having me on this podcast.
Ram, you guys, I'm excited for both you guys. I really am. We do have a big card that night. Both you're on there. I know Durant's on there too. There's a lot of all-in fights that night for us as well. But Rambo, I will start with you since you just said that. It's been a crazy year for you to get you back in the ring right now, to get you back in here, to get you back fighting where I know you're the most comfortable. In that ring, you're the man in there. I love to watch it.
Appreciate you.
This has got to be big for you mentally. I know physically, I know you're going to be ready, but mentally, it's a lot to take on someone, especially in the last year you've had. Talk about it a little bit. Talk about the last kind of year of your life. You don't need to go into the crazy specifics, but the fighting stuff. Now you're finally here, and it's finally getting ready for a fight.
So basically, I had a crazy 2 years, past 2 years. So, just me being back to show my talent and display for, my fans and, my supporters, it's beautiful. Mentally, it was it was mentally on my head during when I was going through it. Like I was going through depression. I never even believed in depression, but, I was going through depression and anxiety. I went through all the stuff that I went through that I never thought I would ever go through them times. So right now it's just really a mental relief to me. You get what I'm saying? Be able to, entertain y'all, speak the way I want to speak, joke the way I want to joke, play the way I want to play, and then show my talent and showcase my talent and, do what I got to do in the ring. It's just a beauty to me right now. So it's no mental stress right now. Right now it's just bring the pain, show the pain, bring the pain. Everything that I've been through, now it's time to show. Now it's time to show the talent, show why I went through it and why God chose me to prevail through all of it.
Yeah, I totally listen. I'm on board with that. I think that's the way you explain that too, because obviously, if anyone knows you personally, they know the last year or two of your life and everything that went through, and you're here. And that's all that matters. You're here. You're moving forward. You're past it. We're getting ready for the fight now. None of the BS on the side. Push that to the side.
Push it to the side.
It's just you getting ready for a fight, and that's fantastic news from all of us, from your fans also, and the people around you. Howard, I'm excited to see you in the ring as well. We already know when you're in the ring, it's explosive. It's going to be, we're all looking for when you're in the ring too. We're looking for the massive knockout. We're looking for something big. But preparation for this, getting ready for this, the whole deal, like Rambo said, it's got to be a nice thing for you because this is your comfort zone for you guys to get into the fight mode and all that. But how you been the last couple months getting ready for this? You got a big one coming up too, July 12th.
This has been therapy. My opponent is a good opponent. Every time I face somebody that's good or supposed to be that guy, I show that I'm that guy. I should be up in those talks, the elite. So this dude is undefeated in the UFC, in boxing, and in BKFC. I'm looking to take that away from him. Pause. But I don't know how it sounded kind of wicked.
Right, now that's good. I like it.
Right. I got to clean it up. But yeah, man, I think it's going to be a big opportunity for me to get back in that championship title fight talk. They having a 4-man tournament for the 155. I think it's going to be a big cash prize. That's my motivation, to get that money, take care of my family. So
absolutely.
If I can do that, I keep telling people think that it's all about belts and stuff. Like, I'm doing this for my family.
Absolutely.
So that's the motivation for me. So if I can get in that tournament and go against the best, whether it be Palomino again, whether it be Austin Trout because he's coming down to 155,
right.
whether it be Kai.
Right, don't get me started. Right, don't get me started.
Listen, I'm here for it. You know, the new interim champ, Bonner.
Yep, that's it.
He had a good fight against Soto. Like,
right.
I love to fight any of those guys. You know, I'm here for the challenges.
Listen, I hope you get in that tournament too. And listen, when it's all said and done, everyone does what they have to do for their family first. It's nice at the end of the day if you could put a championship belt on also and take care of your family.
Sure. Facts.
So that's a nice motivation for that as well. For both of you, and I'll start, Rambo, I'll start with you. Preparing for a fight like this is not a boxing match. This is not MMA. The rules are a lot different. Me and Howard had a lengthy conversation before this about that. I'm not going to take shots at the judges. I'm not going to take shots at the refs here, and no one's getting in trouble for that. Anyone from the Bkfc, if you're watching, which you probably are, that's not what we're doing right now. Your preparation for this, how much different is it from a guy that's preparing for a boxing match or knows he's walking into an MMA fight? You're walking into something where you get in that ring, it's literally the two of you guys. There's a ref there, but he's barely there, but it's just you two there, right? This is big. What's the prep like?
The prep, well, you know, I'm already mentally prepared, always mentally prepared for war since when I was young. Cause at the end of the day, like this street fighting ain't new to me. It's true to me. It's just now more organized and professional instead of just wild and in this just
in the streets,
in the streets ain't no minute no more. We doing 2 minute 5 rounds. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just professional wise. I look at it on a professional basis. I felt like this was meant for me. So my head is already mentally prepared. Already, like I come in mentally prepared. I just being physically prepared and. I'm always training. I'm always working, so I know my physicality is there. So, it's not the same as in training though. Like, you can't say, "Oh, I'm training," because you can't street fight training for it. Right. So, all I could do is do what I could do and what I know, and mix in the boxing to what I knew from the streets, and add it together.
Yeah, it's tough to listen. You guys aren't preparing for a boxing match. You're not preparing for an MMA match. You're not preparing for a Taekwondo match. You were fighting. You're preparing for a street fight.
It's war.
It's war, right?
Yes.
I mean, listen. Anyone who knows Bkfc, and I've seen them all down here in Hollywood, and I watch them all when they're around the world, around the country, because they are around the entire world now. The Bkfc. These are not preparing for boxing matches. I was going to say the same thing to you, Howard, because I know you got boxing background as well. This is a lot different, the preparation getting ready for a street, a organized street fight. That's what it basically is now, right?
Rambo's like my brother from another mother. Like we grew up literally the same, just in different parts of Broward, but literally we're bred from the street.
And really across the street, like my hood is here and his hood is right here.
Right. Yeah, so like we literally like
right there,
grew up
right next to each other.
Like people knowing us, knowing what we do, fighting. So to do it now on this scale. As a professional sport, man, is really God sent.
Right.
This closed doors for me in high school. When I tried to play football, I messed up a lot of that because I was barely in school. I had bad grades. I didn't have the GPA for college, but I was really good in football. Fighting closed the door on that. But look, this door is open now, and this provides for me. It provides for my family, my friends. I give out motivation to the masses. So you can't make that up, bro. I could write a book, and they'd be like, damn, this really happened.
Right.
So
the true life story between the two of you guys, I'd read that book. I'd watch that documentary. I don't know who would play you guys in the movies, but I would watch that documentary.
That'd be dope, though.
Right. Actually, that would be a great question for the fans out there. Who would play these guys in the movie back there as well? Anyone watching the podcast, right?
They might get Corbin Blue for me.
Not Corbin Blue.
I was waiting for one of you guys to say Denzel. Like I was waiting for one of you guys to pull that one out of the hat right there.
Crazy. That'd be dope, though. That man, legendary.
So let me ask you about this. You've been around the Bkfc for a long time, both of you guys at this point. How crazy is the growth of Bkfc?
Oh,
we went from something that was like kind of fringe in Hollywood here for a while at the Hard Rock or smaller venues. Then we got to the Hard Rock. Now they're obviously a lot bigger, huge events there. But watching it, and I'll start with you, Howard, from where you were when you started with this to where it is now, the Bkfc has come a long way.
It's crazy. It's been a full, what's the thing when the caterpillar goes into the metamorphosis? It's been
great word. That's what it is. Right.
A caterpillar into a beautiful butterfly. Because, I'm not an OG.
Right.
I've been in the sport for 3-4 years now, but it's people that's been way before both of us.
Right.
And they've been in bare knuckles since it was like an office.
Right.
They fighting in the office.
Right.
And now they're in Dubai.
Huge venues, Dubai.
Australia.
Right.
So it's bro, that's a big lead. In a few years, some organizations never get there.
Right.
So
right.
Bkfc is definitely on the rise. Like, I go places and people know who I am, and I'm like, they like, you like? I'm like, nah, I'm not him. I don't like the attention, you know what I mean? But it's like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of cool because we go places and people take pictures and videos, and they at gyms that's in other states, and it's us on the TV.
Right.
Like, bro, like, you can't make that up. Like, it's
big time now. BKFC's big time.
I don't have words for it. Cause
no, of course.
It's crazy.
But like you said, the metamorphosis, the change of what's happened to this also in Rambo. You also, and the same thing to you, this has taken a huge step just even since you've been in it, since you started to where we are today.
Yeah, I started like a long time ago too, you know, just, you know, my trials and tribulations. But, you know, me seeing the way it, you know, grew, it's, you know, it's monumental to me, because that's why a lot of people ask me like, oh, why don't I do boxing, or why don't I do another type of sport? I can do it, but, you know, I look at this stage as like a, you know, it's a big platform, it's growing, you know, I want to grow with it, and by the time, you know, they get that big TV deal, and, you know, I want to be monumental with it. You get what I'm saying? I want to be great with the sport. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to be known as, you know, I can't really break nothing in the history of boxing. I'm just gonna add on to it. Same thing with any other. This I could do something.
Absolutely.
Facts. He dropping facts.
Right.
This I could do something. I could become a 125 world champ, move to 135, be a champ at that 145, and if I decide to do it later in my career, I could go 155. That's 3, 4, 5 different divisions.
Right. Why not be the champ of each one? Right. Why not at that point?
And just like what my brother said earlier, but it's not. It's really about, you know, just, you know, doing for my family, putting food on the table for my kids and this and that. But, you know, I will also go after them titles too, just so my son could be like, yeah, my daddy did something in life. Maybe I don't want to be in these streets. Oh, my daughter could be like, oh man, my daddy's a world champion. My daddy's a superstar. Maybe I don't gotta settle for these guys in the streets. I could settle for a superstar too. Cause you know, these girls, you know, they look for their man, you know, after their daddy. Not saying that they want their man to be just like their daddy, but, you know, what they've been, you know, growing into. You get what I'm saying?
You get used to it. You grow up with that around you the whole time. Of course. Right.
So if my
daughter...
daughter...
different standards.
Right.
You don't want to with no low standards. You need them high standards, right?
Exactly.
So, for my daughter, too, I feel you.
You feel me? Yeah, because if my daughter see me out here doing street shit, she gonna want a man that's doing street shit.
Right.
But if she see her daddy out here being a superstar,
world champion,
and a world champ, she's gonna want a superstar and a world champ. Just like my son, you know, he's gonna see his daddy doing something. He gonna be like, man, I want to be just like my daddy. Everybody hearing about his daddy, he gonna be like, man, I need a name for myself. So it's just doing from, like my brother said, doing for the kids, trying to, you know, put on an image for them so they could grow with a better future.
Well, paving a path for your children.
Pass it down.
No matter what it is, no matter what industry or no matter what business you do, no matter what you do for work, if you could pave the path for your children, and I'm in the same boat as you guys also. Whatever I do these days, whether it's here at Live at a Dollar Podcast Network, whether it's breaking sports cards upstairs, whatever we're doing, whether it was sports radio for the last 23 years, one of the coolest things I got to do is for my son to see me do one of these things, for my dad to see me accomplish something huge. That was big in both kind of areas of my life. My dad being proud of what I did. My son, hopefully, I don't even know if he realized it, being proud of what his dad did on the sports radio.
Eventually,
eventually being able to show him that or whatever it is. So that's good. Back to Bkfc and how big it got. What were your first thoughts when you heard a guy like Conor McGregor jumping on board? Because I think when a guy like that, who is in this fight business and the top of the game, he was at the top of the game, jump in and start promoting you guys by saying how great you guys are. Howard, I'll start with you here. That had to be huge for both you also, because as much as we looked at the Bkfc and said, wow, it's going to get big at a certain point, when he jumped on board, and now it's worldwide. That's it. It's on board. He's worldwide. That's huge for all you guys in general as well. I think it's better for, you guys when it comes to the big events. Hopefully at the end of the day, when that check comes out for both you guys, that's going to get bigger each time when he's on board. Howard, when you first saw Conor get on board, jump on board, your first thought was what?
Yo, that's my black brother. I swear y'all don't understand. Conor is so cool, bro. He's like one of the guys. So it's like I always watched his story, like just the trials and tribulations he went through to get where he's at, not having nothing, his girl having to support him at certain times. Like he went through it all, and like he had all the doubters, but he proved everybody wrong. Like that's what is it? Mystic Mac.
Right.
When he over there, predicting the future, doing everything he did is like, bro, it's just motivation, bro. And like I say, he's such a down to earth person. Like I literally had conversations in my DMs just talking to Conor about like life, bro. That's so dope. Like this is Conor McGregor, though, right? Bro. But people send him in person. He shows mad love, bro.
Right.
People can paint whatever picture they want to paint him, but Conor's a real one, bro. Truly.
Rambo, same thing with you. Obviously, he comes into to Bkfc. That's when you were kind of in flux and you were getting all your bleep together. And I say bleep, your shit together. But you got it together. He's there. What were your first thoughts when you saw that? Because now you're jumping in. Howard was in it while it was happening.
Yeah.
You were in it, but you were kind of getting back into it. But now all of a sudden you're back into it. Now Conor's on board. What was your first thought when you heard that too? For you,
when I first heard he was, I was going, like I said, I was going through my little blip.
Right.
So, I was a little depressed. I was upset. I wanted to be seen. He was one of my favorite, MMA fighters, UFC fighters growing up. I watch me. I don't watch basketball. I don't watch football. I only watch contact sports.
Right. I was going to say combat contact sports. Right?
Combat sports.
Right.
I like to see fist on fist. I don't like to see team sports. I want to see, you feel me? So I grew up to, watching a lot of you guys. And when I seen Conor McGregor jump on board, I was like, man, I got to be seen. But, I went through my little, time. But then as I finally came in, my last fight, Conor, that's when I finally first met Conor.
Right.
He came up to me while I was at the doctor, like how when you finish your fight you go to the doctor.
Of course.
He came up to me, he was like, great fight, I love your fight. He was like, I gotta see you July, you come back July, don't worry about it, you come back July. I was starstruck.
That's awesome.
Like,
right. That's
I was starstruck. I didn't know what to
awesome.
say. Like,
right.
I'm like, this is Conor, man.
Right.
Like, he just came out of nowhere.
Right.
Like, and that I loved it. I'm glad because at the end of the day, people don't understand. Like, talent takes you far. Talent takes you far, but we're in a generation now where it's about entertainment too.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Course.
So talent don't really matter if you ain't entertaining at the same time. And he's a guy that's going to display his talent and entertain at the same time.
Right.
And that's why I'm a fan of him a lot, because I'm not just I'm talented, but it ain't just about my talent. It's about my entertainment too, and I'm here
gotta be a
to
showman.
entertain.
Right,
yes.
got to be a showman too.
Here.
That's a part of both your business.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes, you have to go in there and you have to compete and you have to win. And if you don't win, you get moved down the line. If you win, you get moved up the line. But in top of all that, also got to be entertaining. You got to put in an entertaining fight.
Look at Big Mouth in the UFC.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he win or lose. He's such an entertaining fighter. They're gonna give him a matchup.
Right. He's gonna get on the next card.
He's
that, right?
People love
it's because it's entertainment.
Right.
We in a generation where people want to be entertained. Look at Shakur. People be bored. Yeah, you could fight, you could do beautiful defense, all this, but if you're not really entertaining the fans, you're not gonna really make you're not gonna go far. And you gotta understand. So me, I'm just understanding the game, and I'm trying to reap what it sows. You get what I'm saying? So if it caused the talking shit, growing a little enemies behind it, then hey, guess what? That's what it's gonna come with. At the end of the day, I'm trying to feed mine just like you trying to feed yours. You could take it personal. You could take it personal, or we could rock out and feed our kids.
Can we end like that? Like that should be the ending of all this right now. That was it right there. I'm ready. I'm honestly ready to go fight somebody in the street right now.
Like you just wrote a song.
Right. I'm ready.
Just dropped the whole 36 just now.
I'm walking across the street to Publix, and the first guy that looks bad at me, that's it. It's over at that point. That's it. It's going to be my preliminary fight for July 12th. That's it. That's it. Whew. I'm ready to go at this point. All right, Howard, I'll start with you here. We'll end it in a minute here. What's the prep like for you now? We're, 3 weeks out, a little less than 3 weeks out. What's the next 3 weeks for Howard Davis at this point?
Honestly, just putting more miles on the road, work, getting more hard rounds of sparring in, making sure I'm taking care of my body, recovery, ice baths, massages, whatever I can do to be at 100%. That's just the task at hand right now. Everything else has been pretty much handled and done. You're going to put the finishes touches on everything, and it's fight night time.
Look at that smile. He's ready too. What about you? Same thing. Next 3 weeks for Rambo.
For the next 3 weeks, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and, find a picture of Justin Martinez, tape it on my TV because, my TV sits right in front of me, and I'm just going to daydream and then sleep on it and just think about how I'm going to do him July 12th. It's going to be like just something replaying back. I might just wake up, be happy. I might just. That's how excited. Pause!
Right.
That's how.
Aren't you glad I let you go first? And not that, because if you had to go after that, you would have been, you would have finished. If we would have let Rambo go first there, you would have been finished.
He just threw a brick at it.
Right, dude, bro. Right, that would have been it. The window is cracked.
Almost got up and left.
Right, window's cracked. The window, everything is broken. It doesn't matter. Rambo did it at that point.
Yeah.
Boys, I want to tell you this. It's been my absolute pleasure. I love you both. I've been big fans of you both for a very long time. Obviously, without even knowing, we're all brothers because we're Broward County, and we talk about that all the time.
Sir,
Whenever you guys have a post up, the first thing I do is hashtag Broward Boys. That's the first thing that pops up. No matter what happens there, it's all about that. But I'm really looking forward to both you guys having big fights, obviously winning, knocking the hell out of the other guy. Rambo's ready to go. We could tell that. I could tell you're ready to go.
He on a different ready to go.
No,
I ain't ready to go on that week. I'm ready to go on another week.
And if you guys are watching this right now, both these guys have a fight the same night. Look at the mental prepared for both of them right now. It's not just a tunnel vision of how you get prepared for a fight. Howard is locked in a different way than Rambo is, but they are both ready to go.
Facts.
Ready to go at this point. If you're watching this right now before, by the way, the fights happen, you could DM us here at Live at a Dollar Podcast Network, and we can get in touch with either one of these guys. If you want tickets to go, we can definitely get them through either one of these guys right now. So know that also. DM us. We'll get you in touch with the guys that need to, and we'll get you there. I'm excited to go. We're going to have a field trip with the guys here in our building to come that night. We'll see you that night as well. All In Sports Agency, thank you for setting this whole thing up. Sam and all the great people there. Brianna, Vic, everyone there. My people, but these guys are my guys. Broward County's finest right here. Howard, I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming. Rambo, not our first time together. Not going to be our last time either.
Definitely not.
Pause! Let me stop playing.
Right.
That sounded crazy, though.
Rambo Russo, Howard Davis, July 12th at the Hard Rock. Bkfc, I forgot is it 78? I think at this point I had it written down. At
Bkfc 954, that's what it is.
That's right. Bkfc 954 coming to Hollywood in July. Make sure you follow these guys on Instagram. Awesome, awesome follows at this point. They put up all their good stuff. They're going to be in preparation for the next 3 weeks. We got them before they get locked in at this point, and we got them here first. It's always a good time with Howard and Rambo. I am Radio here at the Live at a Dollar Podcast Network. This has been Radio's Yard Special Edition with Rambo and HD. We'll see you next time.